So let me just say straight up, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora did surprise me. It's a lot better than I expected, and just let me mention that I already played all of the FarCry games, all of the Assassin's Creed games, and most of the recent Ubisoft games. So I am not new to this shit, and I did play this game expecting it to be a Far Cry game with a new coat of paint. But it's not that, and there's a lot to say about this game, and that's what we're gonna be doing in this video today. Before we get into it, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff, it's much appreciated. Without further ado, let's get into the video. As a quick mention, I just wanna say that I didn't finish the game yet. This is my first impressions and review. The game released 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm not a professional reviewer, so I didn't get a review code or anything. So I played it in my own free time, and this is my opinion of it. So let's start with the elephant in the room. Is this Far Cry in space with aliens? Structure and story-wise, no, not at all. Gameplay-wise, yeah, very similar. Let's get into the gameplay first of all. It's gonna boil down to you liberating places, talking to people, and fighting and gathering resources, just like you would expect in not Far Cry 5 or 6, but in Far Cry 3. It reminded me more of that. The hunting is a really big emphasis in this game, and it's not the annoying type of hunting like it was in Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 4 even, where you need to gather a lot of shit that you don't care about. Hunting is really boiled down to you going and finding specific beasts to find and hunt and plants, but you only have to do it once or twice, and it's really not annoying like it is in the Far Cry games. So that's a really great thing. Other stuff in gameplay just go as you would expect it to go in a Far Cry game. I'm gonna be honest about that. The bow feels like a bow in Far Cry, the guns do the same, but you can't aim down sight, and that does make it more unique, but it's more or less the same. And I just wanna say, if you have a DualSense controller, please play this game with that. I play on PC usually, but I do have a PlayStation 5, and I play this game using the controller, which is supported on PC, and it just elevates the game to a whole other level. Using these weapons with the support that the controller gives you is really mind-blowing, and makes the game feel completely different. So if you do have a DualSense, please play using that. But I got distracted for a second there. I was talking about the game and the gameplay, how it goes. You have your weapons, you have your weapon wheel that you can only equip 4 weapons at. You have skill points that you can unlock to unlock new abilities. And you're gonna go around the world liberating outposts, doing side missions, talking to people. It's more or less the gameplay story loop that you have in Far Cry. But don't let that dissuade you from the game, because this is literally Far Cry perfected, and I just wanna say that the sliding in this game feels fucking amazing. It's the best sliding in any game I've played in my life. I know it sounds really stupid to focus on this one minute detail, but you gotta try the sliding in this game. It's really amazing. It just feels so good to move in this game. The climbing, the moving, the running, the jumping, the shooting. Everything feels like it should in a Far Cry game, but better. So I really appreciate how much they invested in making the gameplay feel smooth, and that also applies to the riding and the mounts. They do feel great, and I love the flying mount. It's really fun to go around the world and look at the stunning views on top of this mount that also has combat in it, and it is fun to have air combat with the mount, which is something that we didn't have in Far Cry games. So there is uniqueness to the gameplay, but don't expect anything mind-blowing. You're not gonna be having a Dark Souls in this game. It is a Ubisoft game at the end of the day, and they did change a lot. They made it feel better, run better, look better, but it is a Ubisoft game, and I just don't want any people to be disappointed. If you're coming here expecting a completely new thing, this is not it. It's still similar to Far Cry in the regards of gameplay itself. The uniqueness of this game comes from the story part of it and the world itself, Pandora, and the Avatar world that James Cameron built in these movies. It is a really unique place and a really interesting place to explore, and that's where this game shines. This game is amazing. First of all, the graphics just mind-blowing, but it is hard to run, so keep that in mind. I have a 4070 and my game struggles to run on the highest settings at a steady 60 frames at 1080p. So yeah, it is a really heavy game, but it does look amazing. If you can use frame gen with a good graphics card, you're gonna just appreciate this game in every second and how it looks, because it really does hold up to the movies. Obviously, it's not gonna be the same kind of CGI as the movies, but it does look really, really, really good. And that's why I love this game, because the gameplay is what I'm used to with Far Cry, but having that already smooth gameplay in this world that's unique and interesting is really a treat, and I do enjoy it, even though the story does get into predictable places and it is really on the nose. But to be fair, that was a problem that I had in the movies as well. I didn't like how everything was really on the nose, the whole colonialist message and stuff, but it is really just obvious and it's shoved in your face all the time. I would have appreciated some more subtlety and, just a more interesting storyline, which this game sadly doesn't have. But that doesn't mean the characters aren't fun. The characters are fun and well written, most of them, and they are fun to interact with, but the story as a whole is pretty cliche, and I would say it's on the same place as the movies. So if you like the story in the movies, you're gonna like the story in the game. Me personally, it's not really my thing, but it is fine and it got me through most of the game, which by the way, I still didn't finish yet, but yeah, it is interesting and I did enjoy the story from what I got to see. And now lastly, I just want to mention some nitpicks that I have, because every game has these things and every person has different nitpicks, and these are mine. In this game, I really didn't like how the whole inventory system is built. I don't like the needless overcomplicating and description of items. It took me a long while to comprehend what I need to do in the menu. I didn't get how the cosmetics worked, how the upgrade system worked. I might be just stupid, but I did play a lot of games in my life, and I didn't get this system at first. It took me a while to get used to it. That's a really big nitpick, so if you don't like complicated UIs and stuff, you're not gonna like this UI in this game. That's one nitpick that I had. The other one is the uniqueness gameplay loop. I am already used to liberating outposts, doing a side mission, liberating more outposts, doing more main missions. It's the FarCry loop. I would have appreciated to have more unique stuff to do in this game other than liberating outposts, which is fun by its own. To be fair, it was always fun in Far Cry, and it is fun here, but I would have liked to have more. There are some random events that you can do in the game, like freeing an animal that's trapped, but I would have liked to see something more unique. Another thing it's really not a nitpick, but it's something that I wanted to mention, is just how dense this world is. The jungle part that you start in is genuinely one of the most jungles that I've seen or played in a video game. It's crazy the amount of detail that goes into these trees and the amount of different trees in one little area. It's really just mind-blowing stuff. It reminds me of the tech demo that was Battlefront 1. So if you do enjoy that lushness, you're gonna love this game. You're gonna fall in love with it. But yeah, all in all, that's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I did enjoy it. I did have a lot of fun with what I got to play. I didn't play all the game yet because honestly, I've been distracted with the finals. This game released and I've been just addicted to it. I've been playing it all weekend. This video was supposed to release like 1 or 2 days ago because it is my first impressions, but I just couldn't get myself away from the finals. If you like multiplayer games, please check that out because it's really amazing. I didn't expect that. But yeah, that was a side tangent. I did enjoy this game. I did like everything I had to do with it. The performance was really disappointing. I didn't like that my PC struggled to run it when it's just such a good PC in my opinion, and it runs most games fine. I didn't like that, but I'm sure optimization will do its job in the coming months or years, and it does run fine if you know how to optimize your settings. But it would be better if it ran better, but we're used to that by now. So all in all, I did enjoy the game. Let me know what you think about it. It's free on Ubisoft Plus. I mean free, like free if you pay for it. If you pay for it, then it's free. So try it out. If you're paying for Ubisoft Plus, which I'm pretty sure no one else does except me, try this game. You won't lose a lot and it is fun. If you do enjoy Far Cry and the Ubisoft game loop, you're gonna love this game. If you are a fan of the movies, you're gonna absolutely love this game. You're gonna fall in love with it. And let me know what you think when you play it. But that was all for today's video. Next video is probably gonna be about the God of War thing, that DLC that's releasing in a couple of days. So I'm gonna make a video about that. For now, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, check the channel out. I'll talk about open world games, that's kind of my deal. So thank you for watching, and as always, have a nice day.